will be the candidate, Lloyd. He's running for Attorney General. So, I'm not excited for tonight's talk, but welcome and thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lloyd, and I am here to tell you how I am working hard to be your Attorney General. In all niceness to Mr. Hudson, in order to be Attorney General, you must be a lawyer. So it's kind of the one important position in government that you actually have to be a lawyer for. So just so we realize that not all lawyers are bad. So let me give you a little history about me. I've been an attorney for 34 years. I've been a prosecutor for the last 30. Since 2013, I've been the elected prosecutor in Eaton County, where I've won 4 elections as a Republican in a very purple county. I'm a past president of the Prosecuting Attorneys Association of Michigan, and I've been the conservative voice when it comes to actually dealing with the fight against crime. With me, you don't get ideas. You get a proven conservative leader who's actually been part of the fight. And that's exactly why I got into this race, because Michigan needs a change. For the past years, what we've had is we've had a Twitter-typing, headline-chasing political activist. We had an individual who went into the job of Attorney General and forgot that the job was about 10 million people. Instead, made it about herself. That's not what an Attorney General should do. That's not what anyone in public service should ever do. You're here to serve the public. And so as I go around the state and I talk to people, they tell me, you know what, we're really tired of people just getting in and telling us how they're going to do their agenda. We're really tired of people coming in and saying, well, we have all these ideas, but they're untested and then most likely end up unproven. What they're actually looking for is they're looking for someone who is actually going to be there, who knows how to solve problems because they've already done it. They know how to fix what's broken, and they know how to provide leadership. Well, that's Lloyd as your Attorney General. See, I'm going to take my 34 years of experience to Lansing. That's 4 years as a private attorney, and 30 years prosecuting drug dealers, rapists, murderers, and even corrupt politicians. That's decades of trying some of the most evil crimes. And it's decades of actually teaching and mentoring attorneys. Something important when you're actually dealing with attorneys in an office such as Attorney General. And it's decades of public service. See, we hear a lot about when we're listening to candidate forums as far as, things I want to do. Well, I've already done it. When we talk about things such as COVID, well, I was the elected prosecutor in 2020. And when the governor wanted to put down mandates as far as forcing people to take the vaccine, I fought back. I said in my office, it's going to be about personal choice. And in my county, there was a desire to have the Attorney General or the governor actually try to close down businesses. I said no. Those businesses are small and they're just trying to survive. And that's exactly why I've been endorsed by the Common Law Group. You might remember them. They were the attorneys who actually represented the barber who was just trying to make money during COVID. And everybody goes, well, I have ideas of what I want to do, when I get there. Well, I've already done those as well. I helped start an economic crime unit in my county that's returned over $10 million to area businesses. I've helped create specialty courts, such as the Veterans Treatment Court, that takes a veteran who, as a lot of you know, has troubles of their own, and they enter the criminal justice system and they get special help so that when they come out the other side, they're productive citizens. I've also was very proud of the fact that I was one of the first counties that I actually brought in a canine victim advocate, a black lab named Reagan. And his sole job was to sit with children who were there for some of the most traumatic events in their life. That's why I'm endorsed by over 60 prosecutors, former judges, and plenty of sheriffs, including former prosecutor Tom Weichel here in Alcona. And people talk about, well, we need to change legislation. Well, I've done that too. I've worked with the legislature dozens of times. Sometimes they don't like it because I'll actually fight back against bad law when they're trying to pass it. And I've worked with the legislature to actually create good law, such as a parole reform that actually keeps the most violent offenders behind bars. Like a serial killer that's personal to me because he's out of one of my counties. Name's Don Miller, you can look him up. Killed 4 women and they're still trying to let him out. That's exactly why I'm endorsed by former Senator Rick Jones. I'm endorsed by former Judiciary Chair Graham Filler and our current House of Reps Judiciary Chair Sarah Leitner. See, ladies and gentlemen, the experience is already there, so there's going to be nothing new for me when I go to the Attorney General's office. I won't need to put on training wheels. I won't need to have lessons. I'm ready to go day one. And so when I am your Attorney General, here's what you can expect from me. Bottom line, baseline, I am going to protect your God-given constitutional rights. Because as an elected prosecutor and as a prosecutor itself, I've sworn to that Constitution and I've been doing it for decades. If we are going to charge anyone with a crime or we're going to take a political suit, if we're going to take a civil suit, then that is going to be based on the law and the Constitution. Political activism, political lawfare, that stops day one. I'm actually going to work with the legislature because if you've noticed the law that's been created lately, it's bad. And part of the reason it's bad is because there aren't any attorneys actually in the legislature to help provide good counsel. And as the Attorney General, they are the chief legal officer of the state. They're there to defend the state, to uphold your rights, and to provide that good legal counsel. I'll make sure that gets done. Finally, the most important for me is that there are plenty of cases that we've all wondered about for the last 6 years of why are they there? Well, as a citizen of the state, I've wondered the same thing. I'm going to take my 34 years of experience and my common sense and personally pull those cases in and review them myself and use that experience and common sense to make that determination. Since everybody else is going, you give me 30 seconds, I appreciate it. Vote for Doug Lloyd is a vote for actually bringing about integrity, accountability, and leadership. And when you vote for Doug Lloyd as Attorney General, that's exactly what you're going to get.
Thank you.